Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Vipasindubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Kantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 17. Description of the Varnashram system. Text number 27.
Devotees, please अपना phone बंद कर दें सब लोग ध्यान से एक बार डबल चेक कर लें.
Please everyone switch off their phones.
Acharyam mam vijaniyan Acharyam mam vijaniyan Navamanyate karahichit Navamanyeta karahichit Namartya buddhya suyeta Namartyan buddhya suyeta Sarvadeva mayo guru Sarvadeva mayo guru Acharyam mam vajaniyan Navamanyeta karichit Namartya buddhya suyeta Sarvadeva mayo guru Anyone else? Matajis?
Acharyam mam vijaniyan Navamanyeta karichit Namartya buddhya suyeta Sarvadeva mayo guru
Acharyam, the spiritual master. Mam, myself. Vijaniyat, one should know. Na, abhamanyeta, one should never disrespect. Karihichit, at any time. Na, never. Martya buddhya, with the idea of his being an ordinary man.
with the idea of his being an ordinary man.
Asuyeta,
Asuyeta,
one should be envious.
one should be envious.
Sarvadeva,
Sarvadeva,
of all demigods.
of all demigods.
Maya,
Maya,
representative.
representative.
Guru,
Guru,
the spiritual master.
the spiritual master.
Translation and purport by Divine Grace HG Bhakti Dhira Swami. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. Please repeat. One should know the Acharya
One should know the Acharya
as myself
as myself
and never disrespect him
and never disrespect him
in any way.
in any way.
One should not envy him,
One should not envy him,
thinking him an ordinary man,
thinking him an ordinary man,
for he is
for he is
the representative
the representative
of all the demigods.
of all the demigods.
Purport. This verse appears in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 1, text 46. His Divine Grace Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astutara Sata Shri Srimad HG Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has commented on this verse. Okay, the Purport disciples commented on this verse as follows. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter 17, text 27, spoken by Lord Sri Krishna when he was questioned by Uddhava regarding the four social and spiritual orders of society. He was specifically instructing how a brahmachari should behave under the care of a spiritual master. A spiritual master is not an enjoyer of facilities offered by his disciples. He is like a parent. Without the attentive service of his parents, a child cannot grow to manhood. Similarly, without the care of the spiritual master, one cannot rise to the plane of transcendental service. The spiritual master is so called Acharya. The spiritual master is also called Acharya, or a transcendental professor of spiritual science. Manu Samhita 2.14 explains the duties of an Acharya, describing that a bona fide spiritual master accepts charge of disciples, teaches them the Vedic knowledge with all its intricacies, and gives them their second birth. The ceremony performed to initiate a disciple into the duty of spiritual science is called Upaniti, or the function that brings one nearer to the spiritual master. One who cannot be brought nearer to a spiritual master cannot have a sacred thread, and thus he is indicated to be a Sudra. The sacred thread worn on the body of a Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya is a symbol of initiation by the spiritual master. It is worth noting if one merely to boast of high parentage. The duty of the spiritual master is to initiate a disciple with their sacred trade ceremony, and after this samskara or purificatory process, the spiritual master actually begins to teach the disciple about the Vedas. A person born a Sudra is not barred from spiritual initiation, provided he is approved by the spiritual master, who is duly authorized to award a disciple the right to be a brahmachari if he finds him perfectly qualified. In the Vayu Purana, an acharya is defined as one who knows the import of all the Vedic literature, explains the purpose of the Vedas, abides by their rules and regulations, and teaches his disciples to act in the same way. Only out of his immense compassion does the personality of Godhead reveal himself as the spiritual master. Therefore, in the dealings of an acharya, there are no activities but those of transcendental loving service to the Lord. He is the Supreme Personality Servitor Godhead. It is worthwhile to take shelter of such a steady devotee who is called Acharya Vigraha, or the manifestation or form of the Lord of whom one must take shelter. If one poses himself as an Acharya but does not have an attitude of servitorship to the Lord, he must be considered an offender and offensive attitude disqualifies him from being an Acharya. The bona fide spiritual master always engages in unalloyed devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By this test, he is known to be a direct manifestation of the Lord and a genuine representative of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Such a spiritual master is known as Acharya Deva. Influenced by an envious temperament and dissatisfied because of an attitude of sense gratification, mundaners criticize a real Acharya. In fact, however, a bona fide Acharya is not different from the personality of Godhead, and therefore to envy such an Acharya is to envy the personality of Godhead himself. This will produce an effect subversive to transcendental realization. As mentioned previously, a disciple should always respect the spiritual master as a manifestation of Sri Krishna. But at the same time, one should always remember that the spiritual master is never authorized to imitate the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. False spiritual masters pose themselves as identical with Sri Krishna in every respect to exploit the sentiment of their disciples. But such impersonalists can only mislead their disciples, for their ultimate aim is to become one with the Lord. This is against the principles of devotional cult. The real Vedic philosophy is Achintya Tattva, which establishes everything to be simultaneously one with and different from the personality of Godhead. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami confirms that this is the real position of a bona fide spiritual master, and says that one should always think of the spiritual master in terms of his intimate relationship with Mukunda, Sri Krishna. Srila Jiva Goswami in his Bhakti Sandarbha 213 has clearly defined that a pure devotee's observation of the spiritual master and Lord Shiva as one with the personality of God exist in terms of their being very dear to the Lord, not identical with him in all respect. Following in the footsteps of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami, later acharyas like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura have confirmed the same truths. In his prayers to the spiritual master, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura confirms that all the revealed scriptures accept the spiritual master to be identical with the personality of Godhead, because he is a very dear and confidential servant of the Lord. Gaudiya Vaishnavas therefore worship Srila Gurudev, the spiritual master, in the light of his being the servitor of the personality of Godhead. In all the ancient literatures of devotional service and in the more recent songs of Srila Narottam Das Thakura, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakura, and other unallowed Vaishnavas, the spiritual master is always considered to be either one of the confidential associates of Srimati Radharani or a manifested representation of Srila Nityananda Prabhu. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. It's very interesting purport and the text. And also the topic. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. Three days ago, a devotee asked me, we have to respect a spiritual master as good as Krishna. And at the same time, he is not Krishna. How to understand that? So I was explaining to him. Here Lord Krishna himself is speaking directly. The spiritual master is no different from him. It shouldn't be a difficult thing, but it's really very difficult. Very difficult in the sense that we are complicated. And presently, the scripture has mentioned everything very clearly. But our application is making the system very, very difficult. Very difficult to understand. If you have listened carefully to this purport, you will see that many devotees are going against the principle of what is written here. Many devotees. If you have listened very carefully, the spiritual master and the disciples are connected together. If there is no connection between the spiritual master and disciple, there is no question of advancement. There is connection. An example is given here. A child without a parent cannot maintain himself. No child can survive without a parent. No disciple can become Krishna conscious without the spiritual master. It is not possible. If it is possible, then we don't need a spiritual master. If it is possible, the child does not need a parent. But from practical experience, we have not seen any child that survived without a parent. Even children under the separated family, they have serious difficulties. The father may be dead, the mother may be dead, they are not together. I have never seen a child from separated family that have a decent life. I have not seen. What I have experienced. Children from separated family, they have a different life. Very dangerous life. That is for those children have a father taking care of them or a mother taking them, but not together. What about the child without either of them? There is no existence. So one cannot exist without the mercy of a spiritual master. Therefore, Upanishad clearly use the word Eva be gachet. Means what? Spiritual master is compulsory. It is not an option. If I like, I will accept. If I don't like, I will do without the spiritual master. No, it is compulsory. Compulsory. And when you look at our teachings, Rupa Goswami has given 5 qualifications out of the 64 principles. 5 of them are not in the middle, not at the end, right from the beginning. 5. Rupa Goswami is talking about spiritual master, spiritual master, spiritual master, spiritual master, spiritual master. So the beginning of our life is shelter of the spiritual master. Anyone who wants to succeed in life must be under a bona fide spiritual master. The question may be if the spiritual master is bona fide. That is a different thing. But we are looking at, the verse and the issue is that the spiritual master must be bona fide. So we are looking at a bona fide spiritual master. A bona fide spiritual master is Krishna representative. Ordinarily speaking, if something happened to an ambassador, it is not that single soul. The whole country that ambassador is representing will be affected. Similarly, if a representative of Krishna is disturbed, Krishna is disturbed. Not only Krishna, the whole Vaikuntha residents are disturbed. Because, it's according to Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita, the resident of Vaikuntha select among themselves one soul and sends him down here for her. And while he's here, they are connected. They are monitoring, supporting him from here. One day in Pune, what he asked me, the topic was spiritual master, we're speaking. And at the end, he asked me the question in the class. After the class, he asked me, this one tiny soul, Jiva, his guru, is that person you are talking so wonderful like that? Mm-hmm. I say, yes. Is that Jiva, that tiny soul? Is that person we are talking about, a spiritual master? And I told him, one day, Sita Devi, she crossed the ocean to Lanka with the spaceship. While she was flying, she saw the vast length of the ocean. So she knew. And then Hanuman, as he crossed it with the airplane, and Hanuman came there without airplane. So she asked Hanuman, what is your size? And he came there as a small monkey. What is your size? She's asking the question based on what she has seen, the ocean, and how she crossed, and how Hanuman crossed. She would have crossed it without the help of the spacecraft. But Hanuman did. Hanuman replied, my mother, I am eternally a tiny soul. Eternally, I am very, very tiny. But the mercy of the Lord, I can have any size. So the tiny soul, which is representing Krishna here in the material world, who is sent from Vaikuntha. He is not alone. He is being supervised. I'm quoting Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami. So the whole Vaikuntha residents are supporting him, right? If you send a member of a family somewhere, all the families will leave the person alone? No. If a company sends a representative somewhere, the company not providing all the facilities? If you have a company here and you extend your branch to Nigeria, what will you do? Huh? You give him all the facilities necessary. So Krishna will not do the same thing. We can do like that, but Krishna cannot do. He can do better than that. So he has all the facilities, necessary facility for him to execute his duty, and he's all being monitored from the head office. And he also gives what? He gives report to the head office. As it is working materially, it is working spiritually. This is a position of a bona fide spiritual master. Saksa Dari. They are two persons together. They are two persons. One person is the jiva who is representing Krishna perfectly. And he is fully empowered to do that. Second person could be Krishna himself directly. Lord Nityananda Prabhu is directly the supreme personality of Godhead. And all the followers, those who are functioning as a spiritual master, they are directly under him. Yet we know that this spiritual master, they are functioning in three categories. We have a Kanistha Guru. And in Kali Yuga is prominent. So we have difficulties because a Kanistha, two of his legs is in the material world. So he will misbehave if he's not careful. He will misbehave. When he see all the wonderful facilities around, he'll be enamored. It is mentioned here that should not be the qualification for one to become a spiritual master. But it is happening even in our movement. There's a campaign for some people they campaign to become spiritual master. They lobbied, please, can you all of you sign for me? He signed for me and he presented it. I've been training you for 20 years now, is it not? So can you, it is happening, it is going on like that. This is a Kanistha Guru. We don't expect that he's going to act like a Madhyam Guru or Uttam Guru. Because that is his position. His position is material. But there is a chance for him to succeed if he remains sincere. But the disqualification is already there that he has ascended this position not by empowerment. He has pushed himself there. If a Kanistha had been empowered, not by his own desire, he had been looking into, the community have looked into his activities carefully and feeling satisfied and say, okay, please, we want you to be our leader here. That's empowerment. Our system is based on that. Even when that is dangerous, it happened to Nahusha Mahārāja. Nahusha was empowered. He still have difficulty. And even in his own case, he does not have any interest. He was empowered to function as a leader, spiritual master for the demigod. He became puffed up with that position and he fell down. What about those who really campaign, not empowered to be there, and they're having so many disciples? Where will their disciples go? And the danger is that they are going to act whimsically, and their activities will confuse many people, and that will help ignorant, immature people to also become offensive to the Madhyam and Uttam Bhaktas. This is a danger which is going on in our movement. That now people don't know who is a pure devotee. But I will tell you the truth. There cannot be any time that Krishna never put one pure devotee in his system. There are not many, but there is always somebody. And that is the system. Pure devotees do not flock. They are rare. But only very few people will be able to recognize that person. If our interest in Krishna consciousness is to find Krishna, Krishna will direct us to see such a person or such people. If our interest in Krishna consciousness is something different, it's the material energy of Krishna or mystical properties of Krishna, we will never see this person because we have no qualification to enter into the mysteries of understanding Krishna. So the activities will bewilder many common people. To accept a conditioned soul to be a bona fide spiritual master, and the bona fide master will consider him to be a conditioned soul. This is going on perfectly in our movement, in our Krishna. This is going on perfectly. That we accept a pure devotee as ordinary person, and ordinary person as pure devotee. So like Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami in the 64 principles of community, that is our problem. It is not the problem of Krishna or the bona fide spiritual master, but it's our own problem, because that is our position. So, very interesting verse, but it's very difficult. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 11:17-27, spoken by Lord Sri Krishna when he was questioned by Uddhava regarding the 4 social and spiritual orders of life. He was specifically instructing how a brahmachari should behave under the care of a spiritual master. A spiritual master is not an enjoyer of facilities offered by his disciples. A spiritual master told me one day, Mahārāja, I want to go to Russia. Yeah, you are sannyasi, you should go everywhere now. I want to go to Russia. Because I was told that if you go there, 20, 30, 50 disciples just approach you at once. So I want to go there so I can have more disciples. I was looking at him. So that's the reason of going to Russia, to get more disciples. Why more disciples? More facilities. So we can have disciples that will give us material facilities. A spiritual master, my spiritual master told one of his god brothers, a sannyasi shouldn't go to a place to eat. A sannyasi should not go to a temple just to go and eat, take donation, eat a best prasada, and go away. A sannyasi must affect the people whom he visits Krishna consciously. He must be able to stimulate their Krishna consciousness. That's the qualification of a sannyasi. Otherwise, should not travel to go and eat. Disqualification. In other words, we should be potent. A spiritual master must be potent to enter the heart of the audience. That is the qualification of Sukadeva Goswami. He has the power to enter those who listen to him. He will penetrate the heart. Penetrating the heart means that he has the ability to plant Krishna in the heart of those who listen, if they are fertile. If they are fertile. Those who are fertile are those who are hearing. In our movement, we have difficulties hearing. Devotees have difficulties hearing. We don't hear. That's our problem. Because we're not hearing properly, we cannot see. And because you cannot see, we will act foolishly. That is the result. And that is the spreading. Foolishness is being spread. But here we're seeing the qualification of a spiritual master. A spiritual master is not an enjoyer of facilities offered by his disciples. In the leadership book, one of His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami, there he mentioned a spiritual master taking facilities from the disciples must also do his duty by giving them spiritual nourishment. Otherwise, it is cheating business. It is cheating. A spiritual master is not an enjoyer of facilities offered by his disciples. He is like a parent. Without this attentive service of his parent, a child cannot grow to manhood. Similarly, without the care of the spiritual master, one cannot rise to the plane of transcendental service. In the second canto of Bhagavatam, in a lecture Prabhupada gave, it is illegal for a spiritual master not to have control over, not manipulation. Control it doesn't mean manipulation. The spiritual master must take care of the disciple. If he does not take care of the disciple, he is a criminal, punishable by law. So it is not a cheap business that one can jump in and take all the facilities and walk out. The spiritual master is also called an acharya, or a transcendental professor of spiritual science. Manu Samhita 2.140 explains the duties of acharya, describing that the bona fide spiritual master accepts charge of disciples. A spiritual master accepts charge of disciples. He must train the disciple. He must be available for the disciples. These days you will hear, my guru is very busy. Yes, a guru should be busy. He should be busy taking care of the disciples. That's his business. So it's not business. It's not business if he is not responsible for the disciples. How does a woman feel? The husband is too busy to take care of you. How do you feel? That's the husband? No. So a guru is so busy that they have no time for the disciple. That's the guru? And how would the disciple make advancement? How? How do they make advancement? And the disciples are very proud. They're very happy to say like that. My guru is so important. He's so busy. I cannot see him because he's so busy. Here we are hearing that a spiritual master should take charge of disciples. He should teach them Vedic knowledge with all its intricacies. And he should give them second birth after training The Guru should train the disciples. This is what we have seen before in the past. All the students, they stay with the Guru. So he sees them and he knows what is happening. Then, political counselors will not play on the Guru and the God brothers and God sisters. Understand? Political counselors. If you are not in my good record, I will not recommend you for initiation. As counselors. A counselor does not carry the spirit of the spiritual master. The spiritual master spirit his mood and everything is completely different. The counselor's mood is completely different. They are not compatible. But he is there as a counselor. He is counseling the Guru disciple for his own benefit. When the spiritual master is not physically present, all those people are my disciples. So I'm already creating my disciples within my Guru's disciple. This is what we have, and this is going on. So we are using Guru as a bait for our selfish ends. These are not disciples. But the spiritual master knows. He knows. Those who have come to play the game, and the Guru will play the game with them perfectly. They will never get Krishna Prema. That is sure. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, Niskapata Bhakta and Sakapat Bhakta. Sakapat Bhakta are cheaters. They were cheated. Clearly, that Dhira Damodara was cheated by Balaram. Perfectly cheated. The whole world knows that Balaram is what? He's the master of Dhira Damodara, and Dhira Damodara is the best disciple, the best favorite. But in reality, they are completely opposite. At the end, he was killed. So all along, Balaram was preparing him to be killed by Bhimsen. So the cheating disciples, they are on the same line. The Guru is also playing the game with them. No one can play a game with Krishna and succeed. We will deceive ourselves by thinking that we are very expert, we are very experienced. One Guru was thinking like that. We have many, but one of them was also thinking like very experienced. He was misbehaving, and the Guru asked him, "You do like this?" He said, "No, Guru Dev, I'm your best disciple. It's just that all these people, they don't understand me." And Guru Dev was laughing. He was talking, Guru Dev was laughing. So he was thinking that Guru laughing means, yeah, he accepted all the nonsense thing he's telling him. So he came out. I got my way. After a few hours, he almost died. He was crying, groaning, in pain. The devotee went to wake up Gurudev. "Can we use the car to take the devotee to the hospital?" Gurudev, "Which devotee?" They mentioned his name. Guru said, "Go and sleep, leave him. He's expert in everything, so he should not be sick. He's very expert in devotee. He can maneuver his way. Let him maneuver his sickness." A Guru should be responsible for the disciple. So there is connection. If there is no connection between the Guru and disciple, how can he take charge? What does it mean he's taking charge of the disciple? Prabhupada said, first canto of Bhagavatam, Narada Muni and Vyasadeva. Narada Muni influenced his disciples. You don't see? Don't you see that in the Bhagavatam? Radhamuni influenced his disciples. Don't you see Prabhupada influence his disciples? Yes, a bona fide disciple, a bona fide guru must influence the disciples if they are bona fide disciples. Not only a guru should be bona fide, the disciple also should be bona fide. Then they are compatible. Pandari Bidyanidhi, when Gadadhar Pandit was introduced to him, so he told Mukunda, it is a great fortune to have a disciple like Gadadhar Pandit. It's a great fortune to have such a disciple. It's not ordinary. So I will initiate him. So we want this disciple. So the guru take charge of disciples, train them, and then will initiate them into Christian consciousness. He give them second birth, make them brāhmaṇas. After carefully examining them. The ceremony performed to initiate a disciple into the study of spiritual science is called upaniti, or the function that brings one nearer to the spiritual master. The training. If the disciple is accepting the training, the guru is keeping the disciple close by training. So by this, he's influenced by the spiritual master. This is the importance of association. We influence. But those of us who are blocked, due to our criminal mentality, will not be influenced by the spiritual master's potency. That is not the fault of the spiritual master. The sugar is naturally sweet. Is it not? The nature of sugar is what? It's sweet. But the person who is having jaundice, sugar is sweet? Whose fault? The fault of sugar? Whose fault? The person who has a jaundice patient. So, as a spiritual master should be bona fide, the disciples also should be bona fide. That is the principle. We saw that with Prakshit Mahārāja Sukadev Goswami. Sutta Goswami, Namisharanya said this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sanatana Goswami. Vyasadeva Narada Muni. See the transformation? Vidura Mahatma, Maitreya Muni. See the transformation that took place by the association. There was transformation because both of them are bona fide. So we shouldn't be looking only for a bona fide spiritual master. We should also look for bona fide disciple. So that the training will keep the disciple very close to the spiritual master. The closeness to the spiritual master is not a physical closeness. It's a spiritual closeness. We are spiritually close, very close, spiritually very close. That means the physical they may be different locations, physically, but internally they are very, very close, very close. So that Prabhupada was not the closest disciple of his guru, physically, but he was the best. He was the best. There were many of his god brothers who were with the spiritual master every day. When Prabhupada was appointed, was instructed to take Krishna consciousness outside India, this instruction was given to Prabhupada in the presence of his initiated sannyasi disciple. And Prabhupada was a household at that time. And he was not initiated. He was not an initiated disciple. He just came in reluctantly, not even willingly, reluctantly. But the certificate was given to him in the presence of already initiated disciples and sannyasis. Why? He's bona fide. He came for this, and the Guru knows it. He gave him the service, and he did it perfectly. He was not living with the spiritual master. What was the last letter he wrote to him? Gurudev, we have so many good who are doing so many wonderful services to everybody, but I'm not so fortunate. I'm a householder, I'm living far away from you. Please, what service can I do for you? You had that lecture?
Yes.
And the Guru replied to him, he left the body a few days after that. You are an intelligent, English-speaking young man. Go and preach Christian consciousness in the West. And he received the letter. A few days after that, he left. The instruction was given to him verbally and written. And he took it on his head and he suffered it. I say bona fide disciple. There are many parasite, or what do you say? Parasite? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Parasite. Or free riders. Free riders. Disciples. They are free rider disciples. They are hanging on the spiritual master. So everywhere he will be known as the best disciple.
Oh.
Because he has his own agenda in his mind. And it's like what Govardhan Maharaj says, sadhus are like sword. They cut this side, they also cut this side. Not only one side. They can cut it. Because the sword is sharp both sides. They can cut it, they can hit. That means they can blaze, they can cheat. Can make someone pure devotee and give you all the opulence material. They can give you possession, you become the topmost leader of his con, but no prema. The ceremony, one who cannot be brought nearer to a spiritual master cannot have a sacred thread. And thus he is indicated to be a Shudra. This does not mean a caste. This is not a caste. That a particular person, this person is a Shudra. It is not. A Shudra here means any person, even if the person is born in a Brahmana family, whatever the position the person may have, but if he cannot become a devotee, is what? It's a Shudra. If he cannot be trained to become a devotee, it's a Shudra. Yesterday we went to Yavat and we hired a car. My body is coming from West Africa, so we went to Yavat. The driver body is Indian, right? I went to Yavat and was feeling happy. Another body from Brazil was there. So we went to the temple and feeling blissful. But the driver who took us didn't go inside. He didn't care what's happening. Then we went to Kishori Kund, feeling blissful and enjoying. He didn't go, he didn't care what was happening. Space out. So I was looking at the two of us. Which of us is Shudra? I don't know what I'm going to say. Which of us is Shudra? So when we see this thing, we should try to understand what it means. It is not a caste, it is a mentality. The sacred thread worn on the body of a Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya. Vaishya is a symbol of initiation by the spiritual master. It is worth nothing if one merely to boast of high parentage. Most of our children, they fought this disease for a long time. They sacrificed a lot to give us opportunity to practice Christian consciousness. The duty of the spiritual master is to initiate a disciple with the sacred thread ceremony. And after this samskara or purificatory process, the spiritual master actually begins to teach the disciple about the Vedas. A person born a Shudra is not barred from such spiritual initiation. provided he is approved by the spiritual master, who is duly authorized to award the disciple the right to be a brāhmaṇa if he finds him perfectly qualified. In the Vayu Purana, an acharya is defined as one who knows the import of all the Vedic literature, explains the purpose of the Vedas, abides by the rules and regulations, and teaches his disciples to act in the same way. Only out of his immense compassion does the personality of Godhead reveal himself as the spiritual master. Therefore, in the dealings of an acharya, there are no activities but those of transcendental loving service to the Lord. He is the supreme personality of God, a supreme personality of service to Godhead. It is not worthwhile to take shelter of such. It is worthwhile to take shelter of such a steady devotee who is called Ashaya Vigraha, or the manifestation or form of the Lord, of whom one must take shelter. Hare Krishna. Comments, questions? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I have one question. It is different, a little bit different from this. Is it okay to ask?
It's different from spiritual master?
Yes, yes, Maharaj.
Can we finish with this first before you ask? Anything about this topic before we go?
Maharaj, I have a question. Maharaj, why does it happen that we hear the instructions and yet it doesn't really change us, or, it doesn't impact us at all?
We have not had. We have not had. The sound is there, but isn't new. One who hears was act on it. That is hearing. If you eat, your belly will be full. Say, if you have heard, will do something. Prophet had. He executed it. So the sound is going on, but it doesn't mean you have got it. So we're not hearing. That's what we've been saying since then. We don't hear. The day we'll hear, we'll act on it. All right?
Maharaj, so how can we hear? What is the method? So we hear so that we are in, because there's so many things. Asat, Trishna, Tattva, Brahma, it's not in our control. We are tiny jivas influenced by everything. So what to do? I mean, spiritual master has to be compassionate.
Yes. Spiritual master is compassionate. That is why he's speaking.
But Maharaj, how it will penetrate? Like, I am not understanding.
Yes, we should continue to
Here.
prasad. We should continue to take prasadam, dance kirtan, chant, then the senses become purified to be able to hear. So we are on the way. Let us continue. We are on the way. All right? Yes, sir.
Maharaj, you told that a disciple should connect it to his guru always,
Yes.
not in his presence, not in front of all. You are present like this in front of, you will go. And how will become connected to you or to a guru? You told that guru is not available, guru is busy nowadays. So, what is the parameter? How we see that the parameters a disciple is connected to a guru?
One day I asked, I asked one disciple, why I didn't hear it from you for a long time? I asked a disciple, why I didn't hear from you for a long time? Yes, Gurudev, please forgive me, I lost my phone. So I said, you can only communicate with me through a phone, no other way to communicate. That's the only way. You're so limited to phone only. That's a disciple. Do you understand?
Yes,
Yes,
Maharaj.
Disciples, so why are we limited to a cell phone? If you are thinking of the person, if you are thinking of that person, you are with that person. And if it's bona fide, you will know someone is thinking of me, and you will know the person. The image of the person will appear. This connection is there. We are in the spiritual movement. We should act beyond the body. We should act beyond the body. So should be connected. Heart to heart connections with it. Right? So everything will be clear. A disciple is very, very serious. It's not only physical training that a guru is limited to. You can train you in a dream, you can train you in many ways. Send somebody to come and tell you something that you need to know, to put into practice. Many ways. When we hear a brāhmaṇa have 24 spiritual masters, what comes to the mind when you hear, right? 24 spiritual masters, 24 gurus. What comes to the mind when you hear that?
Krishna communicates through, Krishna and Guru communicates through various mediums.
Very good. Krishna is communicating to many different, but yes, what else? What comes to the mind when you hear things like that? This one way, or other way. What's the meaning to that?
Person who is eager to learn can learn from
Yes. It shows his eagerness to learn. He's very eager. Therefore, he's getting the knowledge from different. His eagerness to hear, to learn. Give him all these facilities. That's the eagerness. So when we are very eager to get Krishna, Prabhupada said, Krishna can become as easy as anything. That is in 1:2:17 purport. 1:2:17. As easy as anything. But Prabhupada lamented that we are not interested to go back to Godhead. That's the problem. If you're interested, Krishna will help us and make Krishna conscious as easy as anything. 1:2:17 purport. As easy as anything. That's Krishna conscious. So we should go beyond the physical. We're still hanging on the beginning stage, external practice. From Vaidhi we should go to continuous sadhana. Then to prana. That is progress. Okay. I can answer
I have one
question.
question.
Yes.
Normally, we do our japa in the morning and then we go to office. But once we go to office, we have a lot of meetings or analysis of a problem or something. Then we forget everything. Like our whole mind gets into materialistic things because of the association. But at that point, our endeavor is, how can we make sure that each moment we remember Krishna? But still we have to dwell on the other problems also of the office and other things. How can we do that, both the things together?
We have direct Krishna consciousness and indirect Krishna consciousness. Direct Krishna consciousness is when one is fully devoted to that. No office, no other thing. We are fully devoted. That is direct. Indirect one is that we are also working in office. The company may not have anything to do with Krishna consciousness. Something different, and like you said, a meeting is a completely different thing. But because you are a devotee, right? You have already chanted. If your japa is very strong, even though at that time you didn't remember Krishna perfectly, but because your job is connected with Krishna, it is still Krishna consciousness. The Krishna will help you to be protected. You understand? Do you understand? Your business is indirect devotional service because you are a devotee. So that is indirect devotional service. It is connected with Krishna because you are a devotee. Right? So that is also Krishna consciousness, but indirectly. So you should continue with it. But do it nicely in the morning, so that even if you are not remembering Krishna, you are sitting in the meeting, you are not talking about Krishna. The meeting, you are not talking about Krishna. The meeting, you are talking about something. How much money the company is having. So you are counting. How much money you are going to pay to that place, you are counting everything. It's still Krishna consciousness because how do you spend your salary?
Yes.
How do you spend your salary?
I contribute.
It's Krishna. So that's indirect devotional service. Yes, you are connected. You are protected. Right.
I have one more question. Mahārāja, normally, I personally am talking about myself. I'm also lot of unwanted thoughts come. Like for example, body consciousness. For example, greed, envy. And these thoughts keep on coming in my mind, and sometimes I take actions because they are always coming in subconscious mind,
Yes.
right? And I cannot control it. Now I don't know why it is coming. It may be because of the past births that I'm getting greed, envious, and all these things. But person like me, or there are many persons outside this whole universe who are intoxicated, deeply intoxicated, and they don't think about it. But how can we pull them out of that? And so because they are always have an association of materialistic, and so what is the one thing which can pull them out of it?
Yes.
With so many thoughts of outside.
There are so many things. Why do we go out to do Harinam? Why do we do Harinam in the public? It gives them chance to hear. That is their connection with the Krishna consciousness. We are doing Harinam in the city people. What is this? What is this? Krishna had captured them already. The time of death, their live film will be played. When they will get to that state, they will get stuck there and leave their body. The next life they will be devotee. They are connected with Krishna. So to do Harinam is very, very important. Someone take Krishna Prasada. His going to hell has been cancelled. Taking Krishna Prasada. We don't know we are offensive to all these things, but they are very powerful. How many times Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will telling devotees, taking this Prasada, Krishna Prasada, one will get love of Godhead. Many times Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this. Because he knows the potency. And when Prabhupada started this movement in America, devotee can take prasad. Take prasad. Prabhupada was convinced about the potency of prasad, and he made sure whoever comes will get some prasad. Because he knows the potency. And it has effect. Prasad. Harinam. We should give people a chance to hear this holy name. Very powerful. That's how people get connected. And for those of us who have taken to it, and we are seeing that many times devotees are asking, when I'm chanting, my mind How can I chant my money fully? 16 rounds, 15, 16 rounds. We are asking a question for the end of what we are practicing. You understand?
Yes, Maharaj.
When you can chant completely fixed in the holy name, that means you are a pure devotee. So before then, we have to struggle. So we are asking about the end. So now we should know that we have to put a lot of effort into the practice to get to that stage, which will take some time according to our load, the load we are carrying on our heads. Some of us, the load is light, based on the amount of practice we have performed in the past. It has effect in the present. Some devotees are starting now. It will be a big struggle. They will struggle. 16 rounds is a big, like punishment. That means we are starting. You're starting. It's not palatable. 16 rounds. We're just starting. It's difficult. But some 16 rounds is sweet. It's sweet. That means that person has done very highly Krishna consciousness in the past. So this time is easy, the person is fixed. So the whole thing depends on how we have practiced in the past. It has effect in our present practice. But we should continue. Those who are doing better now, they have also had the same experience we are having now in the past. Yes. But because they have continued, they have been promoted to where they are now. So if we continue, we should be promoted to this level and to the end of it, that we will get perfection. So we shouldn't be discouraged. We should continue to practice. Just continue. Wherever we are, we should know this is the best thing, and to get something which is very, very important, you have to make a big sacrifice for it. So we should continue. We will get there. I'm chanting, my mind is all disturbed. Maybe I should give up this thing, it's not working for me. Who told you it's not working? It is working. It is working. The holy name works. In any capacity, it works perfectly. So we should continue to chant. And we'll get there. Yes? Hare Krishna.
You were mentioning about Guru being busy, but actually Guru is never busy. Similarly, we see disciples are busy, like Guru is there, and you said physical proximity is not necessary. But Guru is there, disciple is also there in the same place, but disciple doesn't have time to come and take association of spiritual master. So how do we see this? Because you also mentioned about a point that physical proximity is not necessary, they can also have internal connection. So can you just clarify that?
Maharaj, if I can add one also. Maharaj, there are many times the Guru is, because of his age or because of his, because of his program, he is not able to give that time, physical presence. Then is it okay to take the initiation from him, because if the Guru is, because of his age, he is not able to give, but you feel affected from that Guru because of online videos and by hearing him?
We shouldn't do anything we should not do things just for fashion. We should do things nicely, not fashion. We should do things nicely. If it's not available, if the Guru is not available for you, how you will make advancement? How will you make advancement? If you're not available. Just be available to take care. So in this one, the Guru is there, but the disciples are very busy, right? The disciples are very busy. They don't have, and maybe they are busy building temple for Guru, or maybe they are busy cooking for Guru, or they are busy managing for Guru. But they're busy. That is not for Guru. Their business is not for Guru. Their business is their own. If it is for Guru, they will have chance to go and see Guru. How would they give the report of what the so-called service are doing for Guru? When would they give the report to the Guru? When they're so busy doing that. My Guru, I'm so busy that when you called me, I couldn't come. I was so busy, I've not finished constructing the temple for you. That is, a temple is not for the Guru, it's for his own. If it's for Guru, he will come and give a report to the Guru and see the stage where we are in the construction. Or come and see how we are managing the place for you. So that is whimsical. That's whimsical. It should not be done. It should be there. If it is for Guru, you should go and give him a report of what we're doing.
There is one.
Sorry.
Maharaj, like we sing love matre sadhu sang sarva siddhi hoy. So we get so many chance to associate our spiritual master, but still we are not understanding its importance, and we think that we are not getting progress even after associating him again and again. So what is the fault at our part so that we can understand this importance of spiritual master and the importance of his association?
We are going to see the Guru, but we don't hear him. We don't hear. I'm just sitting there, but we don't hear. That is not association. That is not. I told devotee the other time, it was in Guwahati, 2014. We had a program, a big hall. It was full with so many people. And we were all seated there. His Holiness Bhakti Swami was sitting, Bhakti Dhira Swami was sitting, Mahārāja was sitting, and other few proper disciples were sitting. We were all sitting there to speak. We were speaking. And I saw one devotee, he broke the crowd right from the end of the hall until he came to sit there and making call. In the front of the Guru, making call. The Guru is speaking, you're not hearing Guru, he's sitting there. But I saw him, when he broke the crowd, pushed everybody out, and he came all the way to sit down there, making call. That association? But when he gets back and people ask him where he went, what would he say? I went to a program, it was very nice. Very nice. Good. I have darshan of Guru Dev. Is that darshan? No. And, okay, he's sitting there, whatever. Maybe he didn't even ask a question, but the Guru Dev is telling, I want all my disciples to be friendly with everybody. But he doesn't hear. He's quarreling with the other devotees. Is that association? Is that hearing? No. So we should be attentive to get the effect of that a moment association. How long did Narada Muni had association of CJ for him to become what he is? How long?
4 months.
4 months. Only 4 months. He became a pure devotee. Right? Only 4 months. That is hearing, that's association. And the CJ were not talking to him, they were just talking among themselves. Yeah. That's the potency of association. But he sat down there and very attentive. What did he say? Narada Muni mentioned many wonderful qualities he had. One, he said, I was very submissive to the sages. Right? Although as a child, I was not interested in playing cricket. I wasn't. And I was attentive. I was very, very attentive to what he was saying. I didn't misbehave. Because of these wonderful qualities he had, the quality the sages became attractive to him. He got all their qualities by the association. This is association because he had them attentively. He had them and he got everything from them. That is association. So if we have the same experience, we'll get it. If you are simply going and sit there answering call and sleeping and not hearing anything, thinking when will this finish, I can take prasada, then we'll remain empty. Gogona Mahārāja gave an example of 2 ladies who were attending Bhagavatam class for 7 days. 2 ladies, a daughter and a mother-in-law. They attended the class for 7 days and the speaker was speaking. If you get Krishna Katha, if you hear Krishna Katha, you become Krishna conscious and the ocean of material existence will never drown you. He was speaking that throughout in the public. These 2 ladies were there among other people. The end of the program, when they were returning back, there was a heavy rainfall and the river they were crossing was full. So one of the ladies jumped inside, remembering what they said, the ocean of material. And this one is not an ocean, this is a small river. So she remembered Krishna and he swam across.
Yeah.
The other lady, she was also in the same class. She jumped inside and got drowned. Then she was calling the lady, help me. She said, you don't hear what the speaker said? Remember Govinda Krishna, you crossed over. Why are you instructing me? You're instructing you, the speaker said. She didn't cross. Both of them were in the class. Which of them had the lecture? The one who crossed, he had the lecture. The speaker called her separately to a separate room. He spoke in the public. Yes. So it is happening to us. How many of us are hearing? We ask the same thing because we are not hearing. Bible says how we should hear, and we already mentioned how to hear, what to do.
Eat prasad.
We should eat prasad.
Chant.
We should chant. Yes. Thank you for remembering. Yes, what is the question?
Rasundari Mataji is asking, Hare Krishna Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. Why can't the Guru chastise the cheating disciple instead of bestowing upon him Nishkapat Kripa? She wrote Nishkapat, but I think so she means Sapat.
A guru chastises a disciple who will not become offensive. He will chastise because he can take it. If he's going to break, the guru will not do that, he will leave him. So at least let him remain where he is than to be destroyed. These are spiritual things, they are carefully done. It is not the guru who is bestowing, okay, that is what the devotee want. He wants the opulence of the guru, not the guru. So the guru will give him the opulence and that's what he wants. He will get big position, he will get facilities, get nice husband, nice wife, big position, facilities, money, and is there. But prema, no. And a very simple, gentle person, that person may have position or not. God may not give him any material thing, but prema to the person, which is the most important thing. If you have prema, you have everything. You will get both. If you have material things, you don't have prema. But you have prema, you can also get all material things. Everything is complete. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Param Pujya Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Mahārāja ki jai.
Jai Gaura Premanandi.
Harila Mataji had sent some cake and Lakshmi for Harila. Yes.
She also brought something for you. Swami Vaishnava.
प्रभु जी उनको जाने दो जरा, जाने दो।
ट्राइपॉड हटा दीजिए।
हाय रामा, आदेश पता चला? किसने कहा? हाँ। सही है, सही है।